Hello and welcome to another Tech Sideline video. We're recording today on Tuesday, October 7th from the Tech Solutions studio located in the Virginia Tech Corporate Research Center. Remember to like, subscribe, and refer the show to a friend. I'm Cody Wagner, and producing behind the scenes as always is Mr. Nick Brown, our Director of Media. Earlier today, Philip Montgomery stood in front of the media receiving questions following his first loss as Virginia Tech's interim head coach. After the loss to Wake Forest, Montgomery spoke about the team's situational awareness. Listen in.
Now you got to make sure that we're being smart in those situations and understanding what the situation is, where you're at, what's happening, what's the flow of the game. And those guys are going to continue to improve in those areas and get better. And our coaches, I think, are doing a good job of trying to correct some of those mistakes that we all make, but you can't make them at those critical times.
The Hokies interim head coach addressed the team's response to adversity following the loss over the weekend. Here's what Montgomery had to say.
You know, this team's faced a lot of adversity throughout the season, and so I think, you know, they're resilient. Guys were disappointed Sunday coming in because we knew we had an opportunity right there and needed to take advantage of it. But that being said, you know, I thought they bounced back. They did some good things on Sunday as far as what we asked them to do from a workload standpoint. Guys were around for meetings and really attentive and ready to move on to the next one. We got a 24-hour rule about what we're doing, win or lose. And so, you know, like I told them on Sunday, hey, you got the day to kind of be in your feelings about it, but then we got to put it back away and we got to move forward and continue to grow and learn from our mistakes and get better as a football team because we got a tough game this week.
Montgomery spoke on how he plans to fix the passing offense after a season-low 111 passing yards against Wake Forest.
Well, I think it's probably a factor of all of us, right? We got to do a better job protecting. We got to do a better job delivering the football on time. We got to do a better job from a route standpoint. I got to do a better job schematically of getting guys opportunities. I thought we did a better job in the second half, and we found some explosive plays in there with them. You know, to that point, we're seeing a lot of different looks. If you look at it early in the game, we got several different looks that they hadn't shown on tape at that point. So it's getting back to the sideline, making adjustments, and being able to transition from that standpoint. So I think it's a growing process for us, and we're continuing to learn. But I think those guys are bought in, and they are given really, really strong effort in areas, and we're always trying to improve each and every day. And I think that starts from the coaching staff working our way out.
Now a word from the Hokie Way.
This episode of the Tech Sideline Podcast is brought to you by the Hokie Way. The Hokie Way supports student athletes in leveraging their name, image, and likeness to amplify the mission of charitable organizations as a way to give back to the community. Your contributions to the Hokie Way support Hokies NIL and are tax deductible. Visit thehokieway.org to learn more.
There's been a lot of offensive line shuffling throughout the season for Virginia Tech. Whenever asked, the offensive linemen say it's no big deal switching positions. Montgomery says not so fast.
They're saying it with confidence, but yes, they're underselling it. It's not as easy. You got to think about all the different verbiages and how things move. And on this side, it means I do this. On this side, it may mean the opposite of that. And then just in your stance and the way you set, and you know, when you're working inside footwork, outside footwork, hand placement, what hand shooting, you know, all of those things. It's much more difficult to do than what they're saying. So. You know, I give them credit for saying, it's no big deal, but if we're being real honest, they've adjusted well. We've asked them to do that. We try to do a lot of that in the spring, just moving guys around with the mindset of just trying to make sure that you can build depth, and the spring's a good time to kind of, you know, exercise some of that. But for Tomas, he's done unbelievable at being able to move around and be that guy, but it's not as easy as they make it sound.
In previewing the upcoming matchup against Georgia Tech, Montgomery laid out some of the strengths for the Yellow Jackets. Check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you try to give it as much of a look as you can give in practice. I think they do a great job. You know, they're so heavy into a lot of different gap schemes and the way they present it, formationally, motion. You know, Haynes handles all of that really well. Plus, to your point, they run him a lot. And so we got to do a good job of getting our eyes in the right spots. You got to play really disciplined, sound football on defense. And then when you get an opportunity to get him down, you got to get them behind the sticks. You got to force them into situations that they're not comfortable in, because that's what they kind of live on. They maintain drives. They stay in short yardage type situations. You get down in the red zone, they're always trying to find +1 runs. And so we've got to do a good job of being really, really sound and technical defensively, and then don't let them get out of your reach when it comes from the tackle standpoint.
Stay with us the rest of the week as we move forward with our coverage of the 2025 football season and get you ready as the Hokies head on the road to take on one of the top teams in the ACC in Georgia Tech. Well, that does it for now. For Nick Brown producing, I'm Cody Wagner saying goodbye, and we'll talk to you soon.